If you want to grow your business, by the end of this video, you will have a clear action plan. And there's also a downloadable PDF down below. If you want to grow your business, we have to define what problem that if we solved will make you the most money. Most business owners want to grow their business, but they don't have a plan in place. So let's create that plan together. You see, most business owners are super busy working 12, 18 hours a day, but have very little to show for it. And so if you're working all day for the past year and your business hasn't grown, that means you're either working on the wrong thing or you're solving the right problem, but you're solving it the wrong way. So it's kind of like if I had 3 automatic presses and I wanted to increase my production times, but I had a tabletop dryer. It doesn't matter how fast I set up screens or how much I optimize the screen burning process, or if I can set up screens within 2 minutes, or if I had 4 or 5 automatic presses. The production line will get bottlenecked at the dryers because the dryers are simply not fast enough. Now you would probably think I'm crazy if I just bought more automatics and didn't upgrade the dryer. But this is what happens if people have too many leads and none of those leads are closing. If they keep on generating more leads and not focusing on closing these leads, we're gonna solve the wrong problem. However, if I went to improve the dryer and I bought a second tabletop dryer instead of getting one really big oven, you would probably think I'm stupid. Or if I went there and I started blow drying all the shirts as they came off the conveyor belt, I'd be solving the right problem, but solving it in the wrong way. So for us to start growing your business right now, we have to define what is the biggest problem in your business right now that we have to solve, because there is a bottleneck in your business, and let's find that bottleneck together. To identify what the biggest constraint is, we have to first look at what is your goal with the business. Because if your goal is to work less hours per week, or increase profitability, or just increase revenue, all 3 would have different strategies to get to that goal. So we first want to figure out what your goal is, and we can start with the end in mind. Now that we have the goal in mind, we can now create the strategy, aka the plan. So people usually don't have a plan for 2 reasons. 1, they have too many things to do and don't know what to prioritize. Or number 2, they feel stuck and don't know what to do because they have no options. So do you feel stressed because you don't have enough options, or do you feel stressed because you have too many things to do and not enough time? Either way, we're gonna solve that in this next step together. Since you and I are both human, we only have 24 hours in the day. So it's not really about how many hours you work. It's more important that we are working on the right things. So as a quick recap so far, what is your goal in the business right now? Do you want to reduce the number of hours you worked, or do you want to increase the revenue of the business? Both goals are great. As the founder and CEO of your company, if you don't have this in mind, that means the captain has no direction of where the ship is going. And we need you to cast that vision out so that everything else falls behind that. Now, once you have that vision, the goal in mind, why haven't you taken action towards it yet? Is it because you have too many things to do, or you don't know what to do? And now we go down to the next part. We now have to figure out what is wrong with your business, that if we solve that problem would give you the biggest return on time, money, and energy. And to figure that out, we follow the Inc. Launch Scaling Checklist. Once we identify what the issue is, we will spend the first 2 to 4 hours of your day tackling this problem and making sure we solve this constraint. Because since you're a business owner, there's always going to be fires to fight. And if you spend all day, you wake up and you go right into firefighting, you will never be able to grow your business because you won't be able to work on the things that move your business the furthest. So there's always going to be fires in your business, but sometimes you have to let those fires burn. So if you want to grow your business, there's really only 4 problems that exist within it. You either have no leads, so that means you have nobody to sell to, or you have no sales, so you have a ton of leads and nobody's buying from you. Or you have no money, so that means you have a lot of leads, a lot of sales, your production calendar is busy, but you're not profitable. And lastly, if you have all 3, but nobody's coming back to order again and again, we have to solve that. So which one out of these 4 things is your biggest problem? Let's figure that out right now. If you don't know which one of these 4 things is your problem, chances are it's probably starting with getting more leads, because if you have no leads, you have no one to sell to. So let's first figure out what is wrong with your business using this checklist. Do you have enough leads to sell to right now? If not, I'm gonna show you guys how to solve that. Or do you have enough leads, but nobody is paying you money? we have to solve the sales problem. Or do you have a ton of orders, but you're not profitable? We have to solve your pricing because you're mispriced. And lastly, do you have enough repeat orders? Out of all the clients that you have right now, how many actually buy from you again and again? So once you identify which one of these 4 things is your main problem, I will now show you how to solve each one. If you have no leads right now, that means we have to work on your advertising, which means to get people to know about your business. Because if nobody knows about your company, no one can buy from your company. So the first 2 to 4 hours of your day has to be spent advertising. So whether that's posting more content, reaching out to more people, or running paid ads. Next, if you have a lot of leads, but nobody's paying you, we have to fix the sales problem. To fix the sales problem, you have to train the sales team more. If you don't have a sales team, we need to train you more. We need you to practice closing. Because if people aren't closing, you gotta practice closing. More importantly, what we want to look at is the actual metrics of the buyer's process. So out of all the leads, how many actually request a quote? And out of all those quotes, how many end up paying you? If there's nobody even requesting a quote, we gotta solve that first. If people are requesting quotes, now we have to solve why aren't they paying you? So we want to listen to your call reviews, we want to improve your sales process, and we want to lift different levers to improve your sales process. But more importantly, all you'll really have to do is start training the sales script and just do more calls. So call all those quotes, and what you want to do is have a race with yourself to get 10 no's. As soon as 10 people say no to you, you're one step closer to somebody actually saying yes. The more dials you do, the more conversations you have, the better at sales you will get. So if you have both of those, you have a ton of leads, a ton of sales, but you're not profitable. So your means your production calendar is super busy, but at the end of the month, you're not making any money. Chances are you're mispriced. A lot of people come to us and say, hey, Alex, is my pricing competitive? Well, I don't know how fast you can print your shirts. I don't know what your rent is, utilities, payroll, insurance, all those other factors that, yes, they play a factor into your pricing. Because someone who has no overhead working in their basement and has an automatic press will probably have a different pricing structure to somebody else who has 10 automatics and has a huge warehouse and has a ton of overhead. And what we want to know is essentially how many pieces can you produce in an hour? What is your production capabilities? And then what we want to know is your other expenses to operate your business. And then all we have to do is divide that and figure out what is your cost to make an impression. And based off that cost per impression, we can get an accurate sense of how much it costs you to run a certain job. And then what we'll do is we'll just charge a markup from your expenses. So that way we can always prioritize the profit within your business. Now, if you're printing jobs, you're expensive, you have leads, you have sales, but nobody's coming back. What we have to look at next is what is your customer journey, because we have to improve your service. We have to make it easier, better, and faster for the client to receive the items that they ordered. So as another recap so far throughout this video, first, I want you to define what is the goal of your business right now. Second, do you feel like you're too busy because you have too many things to do, or you don't know what to work on? If you're too busy, we have to allocate the first 2 to 4 hours of our day and all the resources that we have available to solving this issue. Now, if you feel lost because you don't know what to do, we have to define what do you have to learn, who do you have to talk to, who do you have to work with in order to solve this problem. You either solve it with time or money. You're paying either way. Third, we have to find out what's wrong with your business using the scaling checklist. Is it not enough leads, sales, not enough money, or not enough repeat customers? Those are the only 4 things. Now, if your production calendar has space on it, chances are you are not advertising enough. Now, acquisition comes down to 2 parts. Part 1 is getting people to know about your business, getting the leads in. Part 2 is closing these leads into paying customers and turning them from strangers into someone who's able to give you money. So we first have to solve that by letting people know that you exist. And to do that, there's multiple different ways to do it. But imagine if you could pay somebody $100 per day and they'll get in front of 10,000 business owners. Whoever you want to go after, they'll go after them every single day. If you think that would be awesome, I'm gonna give you a hint. That's what paid ads do. The name of the game here is how low can you get the traffic and how much money can they pay you? If you can solve this problem, you'll solve the acquisition problem. We'll go over advertising and acquisition in another video. But first, all we have to do is define. Do you have enough leads? All we have to do is identify which problem do you have to solve. If you don't have enough leads, we have to increase your advertising or do better advertising. Number 2, if you don't have enough sales, then you're not practicing enough. If you want to close more, you have to practice closing. Now, if your business isn't growing the way you want it to be, you are probably not advertising enough. If you are advertising enough and you're getting leads, but you're not getting any sales, then people are either not requesting a quote or they're requesting a quote and not paying you. And we have to solve that problem. Now, if you have a lot of leads and you're closing every deal that comes to you, but you're not making any money, chances are you're mispriced. We have to fix and see why are you not profitable. Now, if you have all 3 and a high price, chances are your product is not good enough right now. The service needs to be easier, faster, and better so that clients can come back to you again and again. So down below is a worksheet that you can fill out right now, and I'll quickly walk you through on how to fill it out. So the first thing you have to do, define what is the goal for the business right now. Next, you have to answer why aren't you there yet? Do you feel stuck because you don't know what to do? Or do you feel stuck because you're fighting fires all day long? Or maybe your business is doing well and you just need more time for it to grow. That might be an option as well. So identify, why do you feel stuck right now? If it's because you don't know what to do, ask yourself, how can you find out what to do? What do you have to know, or who do you have to speak to? And number 2 is, do you have too many things to do right now in your business? There's fires everywhere. You have to let the fires burn. And all we have to do is focus on what will make your business grow the most. Next, all we have to do is identify, why is your business not growing? If you do have leads but no sales, you have to work on training the sales team. If you have leads and sales, but you have no profit, you have to fix your pricing. If you have leads, sales, and high prices, but no one's coming back, you need to make your service faster, easier, better. Now, all you have to do here is fill in the blank. I need to blank. Now, I'll spend the first 4 hours of my day doing blank. So by downloading the worksheet down below, you can finally get started on solving the problems. Now, if your problem is an advertising problem, check out one of the next few videos on how to generate leads.